Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Core Life Podcast. I am your host, Renee.
And I'm Kristen.
And we are recording this on February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day.
You're super excited about that. Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it won't be Valentine's Day anymore when you hear this.
Well, okay, happy post-Valentine. You don't ruin it. Don't ruin.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So we have a show for you like almost every week. Last week, we took a break because football, woot woot, Super Bowl. How about them? Who played the Chiefs? And
Yeah.
I
You don't care.
remember
It doesn't really matter. They cheated for Tom Brady to win.
they cheated for him. The score was like, now I didn't see it because I'm not a Super Bowl person.
Exactly.
I think I remember the score being like 39 to like 9 or something crazy.
It was something ridiculous like that.
Like, how do you play a whole game and
only score by kicking field goals? Yeah, that was a huge disappointment. And you know what? It was even more disappointing because the Chiefs actually beat my team, which is the 49ers, last year. So it was kind of like, I kind of don't root for Tom Brady, so I'm going to root for the Chiefs, even though they kicked my team's ass last year.
But that whole thing came crashing down when they actually won.
Yeah, I went to my room. I was like, you know what? I don't care about this. I don't care about either one of these teams. So.
Does anyone like Tom Brady anymore? Like, I keep
people love Tom Brady. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
I keep hearing crap about him. Maybe it's just like,
oh, you're gonna hear as probably as much love as he gets. He probably gets like a whole lot more crap, I'm sure. He's not my favorite. But hey,
I don't like him either. I mean, ever since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
When that thing happened.
Yeah. Which thing?
About the football, right?
Deflategate?
Deflategate.
Look at you.
Yeah. I don't even know 2016, but I remember something.
Right. You just threw out a random
They took air out of the balls, and every man knows you're not supposed to do that. And then so boo on you, man. Boo.
Enough about that guy. He gets enough shine.
Wait, what about the well, we're not shining on them, we're pooing on them.
Gross. What about who?
Almost said Wiz Khalifa. What about the weekend?
Oh my God. That was like, so I think that the tweets and the memes are the best thing to happen after that performance.
Yeah.
I mean, I was literally just laughing at, tweets that ended up on Instagram today about his performance.
Dude, they're still going at it. Like,
because it's hilarious. Like that weirdo funhouse mirror part of his performance.
That's the main
yeah,
thing.
Because why was his face so close to the camera?
I think it was weird that like in the beginning, because I went back to watch the performance because, like I said, I don't give a crap about Super Bowls and footballs, and maybe if it was like super chilly, that'd be cool. But I don't give a crap. So I went back to watch like the commercials, like I always do, and I would go back to watch the performance, and it was just so weird. One, he can't do live. It's weird because his voice sounds weird when he does live, and two, it looked like something out of a weird Doctor Who, like with the robes and the mask, and like what was with all that?
So did you see Us, Jordan Peele's other movie, Us? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna ask your opinion on it because obviously you did not like it. But someone was like, "Oh, I didn't know, like, whatever the little boy's name was, I didn't know he was going to be performing with The Weeknd." And then I was like, "That's what it is. Those masks and the red jackets. It reminded me of the costume from Us."
Oh, that's stupid, bruh. Nobody got it. It just looked like some kind of weird.
I don't know if that was his intention, but
Well, okay. And then even when you look at like the fun house, like mirror
yeah.
portion of it, I mean, that happened to the little girl.
In the
So,
yeah, so maybe that's what he was attempting to do.
well, he did a shit job at it.
And then
Cause
people turned it into, oh, this is me trying to find a Zoom link to this meeting. Oh, this is me looking for my mom when I got lost in the store when it was
they've essentially changed, that SpongeBob meme where he's like, yeah, that's he is the new meme of that now.
it's hilarious.
It,
Like, I'm like, oh, thank you. That was amazing. But, the other two performances that I really enjoyed were Jasmine Sullivan, who did not need to do it with that guitar dude,
yeah,
and her. I thought that they did really well, and they could have just let them sing.
yeah.
And it's crazy because I used to like The Weeknd. I liked his music like in his, I guess, mixtape days when I used to like be walking across campus in my emo mood. But yeah,
Long
but
time.
now I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either. Like I can't say that I was like a fan, but I didn't hate his music. And then I fell off of it because I don't listen to too much new music.
No,
Um, and now it's just like, eh,
right?
garbage, trash,
Sure.
throw it away.
Yeah, gotcha. So now we're up to date on the Super Bowl.
Yay! If you guys
Whoop,
didn't
whoop.
know, 2 weeks late at the recording of this podcast.
When do we ever do anything on time or basically on topic? We just talk about things that interest us,
That's true.
even, even from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true. And I think I told you that I really did want to talk about um ooh, I don't want
Mm.
to, because you got upset when I was like girl and you were like, she is a woman's the super gorilla glue
Uh, because she is. I
woman.
think that's very important.
Well, everyone's
Girl,
super
because
gorilla glue.
girl implies some sort of youthful naivete, and woman, even though they can also be very naive, as we have learned, and we
Yeah.
do know because we are women. Um,
I don't
I
even
think
think naive was the word for her. That was
no, it's not. That's like the word that came to my mind, but I'm trying to be generous here. I feel like girl gives it like this really like, oh, she was just a little girl, guys. Quit. But yeah, go ahead with it. And
well,
I wasn't upset. I just wanted to make that clarification that she was
okay.
not a girl.
No, she's definitely not a girl. But everywhere I see her, I hear a girly glue girl. But yeah, she is a woman. She's 40-year-old woman. She's a woman.
With like
And
multiple children.
yeah. And she should have known better. And the crazy part to me is, I know we all want like our edges to be laid, and there is a better way of doing that, people. But the crazy thing to me is that there was a guy
Mm,
who
mm.
took it as a challenge. So this.
Mm-hmm.
He took it upon himself to be like, yeah, what she's going through ain't real. Gorilla glue ain't nothing. And challenged himself. I don't know who told him to do this, but he glued a solo cup, not even a cool cup, a red solo cup, to his face, to his lips, and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, now he could possibly lose like the top part of his lip or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What?
you feel kind of bad for laughing, but at the same time, it's like, no, I don't.
I
Because
know.
why would you do that? You
Yeah.
thought that this woman was exaggerating. I never thought that she was exaggerating
No.
because she told us, like, okay, y'all, I'm basically at my wits' end here. So I had to come to the internet because I don't know what else to do. So, you have to like be pretty desperate to bring something as embarrassing as that to the internet for
Yeah.
everyone to like dunk on. So,
Yeah. I mean, and luckily she saw a plastic surgeon who did it for
mhm.
free, and she has still some of her natural hair, which is cool. But for him, I don't know. It's like when someone sees something stupid happen on the internet, don't take that as
A
a,
challenge.
I'm going to do it because I'm going to
Yeah.
challenge it and I'm big and bad and I'm better. Like, I don't understand why. This is also a grown man.
Yes.
It wasn't like because I'm 20-some-year-old. It's like, no, I'm indestructible. This is a grown man who also should know better. So,
Yes. He didn't learn from her lesson.
yeah, exactly.
She told you, like, we all found out the science to it, right? Is that water activates something within the glue, so it hardens it. So we learned that in the course of Gorilla Glue Girl, of her fiasco. So
Mhm.
then he decided to like Gorilla Glue a cup to his lip, and then he was like, "Oh wait, maybe some water to get it off." No,
No,
what were you thinking?
he
Clearly, you weren't
wasn't.
thinking.
Yeah,
Exactly. You were not thinking. And, so then that happened. And now we know about it.
yeah. So
Why would you
please,
want anyone to know that you did that?
I would never, like, if I was dumb enough to not only make that mistake in the first place, but to challenge myself from what I saw on the internet and be like, you know what? All right, bet. I would
This feels
never
smart.
tell a soul.
Never. But shout out to that doctor though for being so generous and also for having a background in chemistry. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, how you figure this shit out? you know.
I mean, it took 4 hours.
It took 4 hours and she had to be put under because I
Hmm.
would be too, like, 'cause I would lose my shit. But, so thankfully, I think she's learned her lesson and now she's like selling merch, and she
Yes,
raised over
ma'am.
$20,000 on GoFundMe. And it almost makes me want to do something crazy just to see if I can get $25,000 or something. But I'm not, so
I
don't look at
was
me
gonna
like
say,
that.
what kind of crazy are you thinking?
Renee, I barely had the energy to roll over this morning, so I definitely don't have the energy to like do something to go viral.
You're right. It takes I
It
wouldn't
takes
say,
effort,
yeah, it does take effort. You have to almost be self-destructive.
and that I am not most
Mm.
days.
You have sense, friend. You have sense.
Thank you.
Hmm. Well, and speaking of things that don't make any sense, um, I guess we'll get into the meat of our podcast, which is what I want to talk about. Kristen,
Oh gosh.
I know, I know. Whoa. I showed you a link to a BuzzFeed, I guess it was a quote unquote article, if you can call BuzzFeed articles
Mm-hmm.
anymore, um, about mo- not millennials, but Gen Zers and
Mm-hmm.
them being tired of millennials doing certain things, which I had no clue about. So some of the things were parting, like for women, parting your hair to the side. I guess men too. So you can tell a millennial from Gen Zers because millennials part their hair on the side, which boo, I got it done right here.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm.
was going to ask who does that, but clearly you do.
Clearly I still do because I'm a product of my time.
Mm.
Um One of the things was skinny jeans, wearing skinny jeans. Because so what do Gen Zers wear now?
Right. So that one confused me because I'm like, don't you guys wear skinny jeans?
Last time I thought maybe it's instead of skinny jeans, it's jeggings,
I mean,
and that's like the ultimate skinny jean.
yeah, millennials. I would think that more millennials will wear jeggings than a Gen Z. I have no idea what Gen Z kids do other than TikTok and
Yeah,
apparently making fun of millennials, which you felt some type of way about this BuzzFeed thing. And I, on the other hand, was like, I mean, it's the same thing I do to the generation before us. So-
well, well, here's the thing about this because I felt personally attacked by some stuff because they were like, you know, millennials talk about their coffee, millennials talk about liking pizza. Like, bitch, like you don't like pizza? Who? Wait, you tell me right now that you don't like pizza? Like,
I didn't
and
know that that was a thing either.
yeah,
Millennials talk
it.
about pizza a lot. Why?
I don't know. Like, I guess
Maybe they meant we talk about how we used to have pizza parties, or we used to be able to, if we read enough books, we could go and get a free pizza. Maybe
I
that's
don't
what they
know
meant by
because
that.
I don't see that all over the internet.
I don't see people talking about pizza all over the internet.
It's just there's like a whole so the list had a bunch of stuff like you
Yeah,
with
it
using the
did.
laugh like the cry laugh emoji, which
Yeah, that one kind of blew me. I'm like, wait a minute. Now y'all don't do that, but they do use like all of the other random emojis. Like on something I was looking at, they had like a tornado, a gorilla, I think a drop of blood, and then something else. And I'm like, so do y'all know what this shit means?
yeah, like
How am I to decipher this? And then the other person responded with like, I don't know, marshmallow and a water gun. And I mean, I don't know what they're talking about.
no, like okay, here's the thing. It has to make sense. Like if you're using emojis, they have
Well,
to
it does make sense to them. It just doesn't make sense to us.
they're insane. Like so what do you do? What do you do if something's funny? Like so you don't put the laugh emoji? Like what do you put?
So your millennial is showing right now, and it's almost embarrassing.
I don't understand. I don't
It's
understand.
almost embarrassing. So this is the thing though, friend. I just feel like you have to get to a place where you're okay with not knowing what they're talking about. Like I'm already there. That's why I think that article did not bother me because I'm like, who gives a shit? Like they're supposed to
Well,
do this. They're supposed to crack jokes. They're supposed to make fun of us.
well,
Yeah,
Kristen,
like the
it's
Harry
because
Potter thing.
yeah, that pissed
Yeah,
me.
you see, I know that really pissed you off because yeah. So and I'm like, cool. I'm
Like,
fine with that because the generation behind them is going to do the same thing to them. Like, oh, those Gen Zers, all they want to ever do is TikTok and floss, you
yeah.
know? So
Well, and I guess my problem with it for the most part is um we have this thing where we're almost like the weird kind of like middle child, even though there's generation X before us, but we're in between the boomers and the millennials, sorry, the boomers and the Gen Zers. And it's almost like it's become a thing to,
we
you
get it
know,
from both sides.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean, we've
really
talked about
do.
this when we had Groove on the show.
Oh, we do. Shout out to that
Yeah.
episode. Shout out to Group Woo Woo. But
Yeah, we get we get it from both sides and you
but
know.
I think the problem now for me is they're picking on us, but not
Oh my
for
God.
what?
Go ahead, continue, please.
But not for anything in particular. Like for boomers, it's oh the millennials are killing brick and mortar stores and they're killing the housing industry or blah 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 blah, and we're like, well, you ruined the economy and you made things more expensive for us. And Generation Z, it's like you guys wear skinny jeans.
Okay.
Like I don't
And
there. If you're going
so
to say something, at least say something about how we've ruined something. Don't
but
like
then you're gonna be like mad about that. That's gonna like get you riled up because for
it makes
one,
more sense to
and
me.
so, but let me just say this: if any Gen Zer ever listens to this, they are definitely going to add to the list the fact that you said they're poking fun at us, like they're picking at us, and I'm like, so now we're being bullied by Gen Z. Is that what you?
Yes. Well, and it's weird because like I was sitting there like as I was reading the article, like scrolling through and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not taking no shit from a generation that ate Tide Pods and set themselves on fire. Like
Yeah, so I mean, there's still plenty of stuff that we could make fun of them about. It's fine. I guess my thing is, it's okay. It's okay, Brene.
but then that makes me feel like I'm getting old, and I'm not
But you
old.
are getting older. See
I'm no.
that's the thing. You have to be okay with aging. And I'm totally fine with that.
I
Like
mean,
there are things that we're going to age out of. And it's
I'm still
okay.
good. I'm still hip and with it. I can part my hair in the middle. Watch this.
You are hip
Boom.
and with it. But it's okay to not know the latest and the greatest. Like I don't really give a shit about what those kids are doing, long as they're trying to like make some things better, you
But
know.
are they though?
I don't know because we're too busy bickering with them about them making fun of us for liking knowing which Harry Potter house we're in. Like
Ugh.
all of that shit is just stuff to just like pass the time. Who cares about that? And then I was read on the BuzzFeed articles. I'm quite sure they don't read BuzzFeed. They made fun of millennials for doing
Yeah, they
BuzzFeed
do.
quizzes.
They did. They made fun of us for doing those BuzzFeed quizzes and stuff.
Yeah,
Which
so
I
they
don't
don't.
which I don't know anyone who does those anymore.
No,
But
I do remember that when that was a thing. Like, it's like,
it,
oh, let's take this quiz. It was a
yeah.
huge thing.
Let's find out which kind of potato I am. Ooh. Oh,
Yeah, which Gossip Girl are you more like? And
yeah.
I was totally a Blair. But anyway, so it's
Well,
okay, friend. It's okay.
all right, I guess.
Yeah, don't let those. I mean, hey, I don't
I
give a
mean,
shit if
but
they call
straight
me
up, if
old.
they want to fight, I mean, I will fight.
If it comes to fisticuffs, then goddamn it, you walk 10 paces and they'll walk 10 paces during the middle of the OK Corral of
Mm-hmm.
downtown Memphis, and you guys have it out because I'm not coming out there for any of that shit.
You're not gonna come out and support your girl?
No, I'm not gonna be your second or any of that.
That's all
No,
right.
because it's
Groove got
also
my back.
that's right. He
He's ready
better
to
because
beat up some teenagers.
he's super passionate about millennials getting it from both sides. So
Yeah, that
yeah.
sounded sexual. So.
Well, hey.
It's Valentine's Day.
Exactly. Share the love. Oh,
Okay, I mean, I guess I understand. I mean, and we, it's fine. It's whatever. But I don't know. I've never made fun of Generation. No, I can't lie. I have made fun of
okay, because you were
Generation
about to tell a lie.
But it's so, but like
But what?
at
Come
the
on.
same time, I still
Mhm.
value certain things from that generation.
So is that what it is? You feel like they don't value anything that millennials have put
Yes,
forth?
motherfucker. Like we came
So
out.
you feel like they're ungrateful.
Yes, they are ungrateful. They came into a time where um, it's legal to get married if you're a LGBT member of the LGBTQ. They came in a time where they have all this like technology that they can just instantly do stuff with. They came in a good time. They didn't have to deal with a recession. They didn't have to deal with, I mean, I guess they have to deal with Trump, but we all in that boat together.
Okay, so what do you want them to be thankful for? Because all of those, those couple of things that you just listed were things that other people, the generations before us, were already working on or doing.
I
As far
want,
as
yeah,
advancement for people, as far as technology. And then
I,
you have to take into consideration the way that they're growing up. Like and I'm so thankful because it's such a shitty thing. We have no idea. We did tornado drills or fire drills.
yeah,
These kids do active shooter drills. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? They grew up with that. They too they're living through a pandemic.
I
You
think,
know what I'm saying? So all
but
of that stuff
also,
was upended for them.
but also like with the active like shooter thing, I feel like, and this is just me, I feel like it's because we don't whoop our kids anymore. I feel
Well,
like our okay, well here is my logic. I feel like kids now, like Generation Z, Generation Alpha, they babies right now, but like Generation Z, it's so sensitive. Like the Generation X has like coddled them, and like they had an upbringing where everything, everyone is a winner,
is
and
that
you
not
can't do no
the
wrong. You
same
can't
thing
lose.
for us though?
Well, for us, like
We had No Child Left Behind,
we
where
had no child left behind, but at the same time, like we were taught how to stand up for ourselves, like as far as our parents are concerned. We were taught, how to not take crap from anyone else. Yes, we were taught that you could be anything like you want to be, but we also taught how to fail. Like failure does happen.
yeah, but I feel like this argument that you're making that Gen Z weren't taught any of those things is the same thing that was said about us as we were coming up, though. I mean, I've heard the same thing about millennials, is that we were coddled. That's why we job hop, because we don't have any loyalty. We were all, and when we advocate
Whose
for,
side are you on?
I'm just saying, like, you can't like, but I'm just saying, when we do advocate for ourselves, it's like, oh, you guys don't know how to just, buck up and just take it and just, suffer in silence, so you guys think you
Well,
have to speak your mind about everything. So
well,
all of the things you're saying about them are things that were already said about us. Where does it
but
end?
like I said, at least we know how to lose. Like,
You
yeah,
don't think that those kids know how to lose?
this
Or are you
they're
upset at the fact that, they've watched us and now they truly know how to game the system so that they don't lose?
well, that's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about
Okay.
like as far as like sensitivity is concerned. Like in our schools, during the time we had I don't know if you've had too many like school shootings while you were younger, but we didn't have that. We didn't have like so and so like said something wrong to me or made me feel bad, so I'm going to go up there and shoot up the school. Yeah, we had fights, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you break up the fight and you're done.
So
Like
you've
that's
never
how
had a
you
kid
sell.
bring a you've never had a kid bring a gun to your school? Because I have.
You had a kid bring a gun to your school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we went to two different type of high schools though.
that's true.
And
But
this happened to me in elementary, but I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree that that makes them sensitive. I think that if anything, it's a failure on Gen X and also our part for not listening to these kids and getting them the help that they need. Because then that starts to speak to a mental health crisis type of issue for me when you're talking about, oh, they're just too sensitive, so they went and shot up a school. No, that moves into a different type of territory. Now, if you want to say that, oh, they're poking fun at us because we still use Facebook, sure, but I mean, to like, and it's not now, it's not really just like picking a side or anything, but those kids have a whole lot of shit that they're dealing with that we didn't have to deal with. So while we may have had our thing that we knew how to maneuver and handle, they're dealing with something that we have no idea. Like you and I have not gone through an active shooter drill. And I keep bringing that up because that is a very real thing for them.
no, I know. I know, but
So
I'm
I
just,
mean, that's like a different type of,
but I'm
like
saying if
mindset that
you
you
would
have to
just
be in.
teach, but I'm saying like just yes, it is a mental thing, but also it's because we're not teaching our kids essentially how to deal with your
That's
emotions.
what
We
I just
don't.
said.
But I said that before, and like that's why they're so freaking sensitive because Gen Xers, they're coddled in a Gen Xers have coddled them in a way that we weren't necessarily coddled. Like I said, we essentially know how to lose. Yes, we job hop and we burn incense and talk about like our astrology symbols or whatever,
Plants
but
and shit,
we
because a lot of y'all are into these plants these days.
yeah, oh, I got a plant right back there.
Yeah, I know you got a new plant the other day.
But but like we are able like to deal like a little bit better. Like I
Okay.
haven't, like we didn't come up at a time where there was um like mass like suicides or mass like gun shootings or whatever, because it was ingrained in us the fact that not everybody's a winner, not everybody gets a gold star, not everybody's this, not everybody's that, not everybody's willing to be great. Like you can be great, but we're taught like do the hard work, and that's how
I,
you be
I
great.
I understand that, friend, but I still just feel like you can't. I don't know, because for one, it's heightened. So we did have kids like committing suicide, and we did have, there were school shootings that they just weren't as frequent. We did have all of that. It's just that at the pace at which we learned it was a lot slower than it is now. Now it instantly comes to your phone. Then you had to see it on the news, or your parents would get a newspaper and they would read about it. So it's just instant versus us finding out like the next week. And I guess that I'm, putting my experience into it because I'm thinking about the classmates that I've lost at a young age to gang violence, to, drugs, to playing with guns and all this kind of stuff. And again, it just depends on your environment where you grew up and stuff. So we did have all of that. It just wasn't on this scale. And again, it all still speaks to Gen X and whoever else. Like we have to take the time to give these kids the tools that we didn't have, because so many of us are just now opening up to the idea of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't necessarily know how to handle our emotions and all of that. We were taught to fight through it, to push through it, and not really talk about it. Now we're in a space where we talk about it more. We encourage our friends to go to therapy. We encourage people to get help, to reach out.
I
We
feel like
didn't
that's
do
more
that
of a
then.
person of color thing, though,
We're
because
people of color.
or, yeah,
So
people of color. When I say a person of color, yeah, I feel like
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
I,
feel
I I
like
get that, but I mean, that's all we can speak for, really. I can't speak
yeah,
for a white person because I'm not white. So so when I'm talking about these things, it's a general thing, but more often than not, I'm looking at it as a Black woman, and just a
mm-hmm.
Black person in this country. But I mean, I don't know. Those kids will be fine. They'll figure out how to navigate the world the same way that we did. We did not have all of the answers and the tools and all of that shit. Most of us just learned how to be financially stable. We just talked about that,
Yeah,
in the
we
last.
did.
So we don't have it all together. We're still trying to figure out what we want to do. And I think it's okay to let them know that you don't necessarily have to have it all figured out. Like life is not easy,
Yeah.
but I don't want to beat them over the brow with that. And I don't think that that's coddling them. It's just having a real conversation with them. Like, okay, yeah, you could probably become a millionaire off of TikTok, as long as you have
Yeah,
enough people watching your
but how do
shit.
you have a real conversation if
The
there's
same way
no
they're
respect?
But see, respect though, Brene, is a two-way street. You can't
Mm-hmm.
expect them to automatically respect you just because you're a generation before them.
No,
They
I
don't have
understand that.
to, yeah, they don't have to listen to anything that we
No,
say.
they don't.
Yeah, like
But
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I listen to everything the generation before. I'm like, y'all ain't talking about shit. Y'all don't know none. Y'all, oh, get out the way. You know what I'm saying?
but
Because it's my turn.
yeah,
But you give them what they're willing to take, and
yeah.
then you let them go on about their way. So I can't. And so, because if you tell them like, oh, I'm telling you how to do this, is that not coddling them and expecting them to do it the way that you want it done?
Well, it's
And
not.
when
It's
they
not.
don't,
It's not necessarily telling them. Of course, everybody's going to make their mistakes. I'm not the kind of person that says either you're on your own and you do everything yourself, or I'm going to completely coddle you. But they have to be willing to listen, and we have to be willing to tell them without like an
yeah,
argument.
preaching at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Without preaching.
Yeah, without preaching, because I didn't want that. I didn't want someone just like, this is how you got to do it, and you got to do it this way. But you have to also, move out of yourself and thinking that these kids don't want to hear anything that you have to say. Because even though they may be looking down at their phone like 98% of the time, doesn't mean that they're not, taking in what you're saying. They just have a different way of perceiving the message.
Are you
I don't
guys
know.
listening to this podcast?
They're not. So
Dang.
I think that you just have to, it's the same way that none of this is new.
No.
Just the way that things are being done is. So we still, we take, and it's just the same with us. You take from parts of the generations before you, the parts that worked, the
Mm-hmm.
parts that, were on the right track, and you do something with them. That's all we did. We didn't pioneer, like activism. That shit already existed. It's just that we took from what the people before us did and we improved on it, and then these kids are going to do the same. So that's kind of my thing with, this is not to get into politics, but that's kind of my thing with people in politics. It's like, you've done all that you can. You're 89 years old.
Yeah.
Please kindly step to the side and let
Well,
someone else do this.
and that's like another problem, and I think we've talked about this
Yeah,
before, but
yeah.
like our generation is not given that opportunity to be in those positions.
And why is that? Because they say that we would. We
I don't
don't know
know.
what we're doing. We
Oh
don't
yeah, we don't
respect
know what we're
them.
doing.
We
Yeah.
don't respect them. We don't listen. We don't do the things that they
Well,
want us to do.
and well, the thing about that is a lot of them are not just like stuck in their ways, but I think it comes down to they don't think anybody can make like a difference. They make the country and mold the country to what they think is great. And a lot of them aren't moving out because one, like social security and money and stuff, because they're not going to get much like if they retire or leave. So a lot of them are going back into the workforce, which makes it harder for them like to step down and for us to get in those positions. And two, nobody, since we're on like both of those sides, nobody is necessarily going to vote for a millennial. We saw
Yeah.
that with Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, and also I really didn't know a lot about Pete, Mayor Pete. He's not the mayor anymore. He's Secretary of Transportation. But
Mhm.
hey, again, I try not to swerve into politics. I was just using it as an example.
Like, oh no,
But
we've done politics. Oh
I
no,
think that we have to be okay with knowing that we've done, and we're not about to die off. I don't think a meteor is about to strike the earth, but we have to be okay with our place in this. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, as fast as it got here for us, it'll be here for them too.
yeah,
So we do what we can in within our time frame, and I'm perfectly fine with stepping to the side because what's going to be left is going to be left for them to manage, and
yeah.
then they have to do it for the kids behind them. So I try not to get on their heads about anything, because they're going to find out soon enough, and when they want the help and the information, we're here to give that to them should they need it. And just let
Just
them
like
do
our
this.
parents were for us.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I don't give a damn if they call me. Oh, girl, I am. My knee cracked. My knee cracked when I got up off the bed today. So
Oh no, friend, don't.
yeah,
You're not
I
that old.
promise. I promise. No, I'm not that old, but I probably should like be taking some ginger root or something for my knees. But
And it's funny because like even, and I guess here's the thing, I don't feel old. Like that's
I mean,
like
you're not.
of course like I have like if I tried to do that little busted challenge and my knees kind of gave out on me. So
I'm proud of you for even attempting to do it, because I just kept saying, "Oh, this is so cute," and I just kept scrolling.
well I didn't like try to. I was just like playing this groove and I was like, oh yeah, bust it, and I bounced and then went down and I couldn't get
You
back
didn't
up.
bounce back up. You didn't bounce back up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
everything is not meant for everyone. I had to
Nope.
learn that a long time ago. So I
Yeah.
just applaud the girls that are able to do it, because girl, you look good.
Yeah,
So
y'all out here looking good. But like I said, that's the thing. I don't feel old and I don't think I'm old. And 30 is not old. Like
no,
when is even when we were younger, 30 wasn't old. And there's
no, it
still so
wasn't. But
much
when you're younger, yeah, it feels like it.
yeah,
Seems like it.
it really does.
No,
Oh,
it's not.
30, oh my God. You almost to 100. No, slow down, little one.
Right. It's really not. It's not an old age. We crack the jokes and stuff like that, but we do still have so much life left to live and so many
Mhm.
things to do and experience. And I think that's why, I'm like, girl, whatever. I
Yeah.
had my fun, so if
Well,
there were a
I'm
few things
still
that I
having
could
fun.
exactly. I'm talking about in my 20s. I don't miss that.
Yeah,
So,
no.
yeah. So I mean it's cool, y'all. Y'all Gen Z, y'all are fine with me, girl. Just stay out my way. I don't give a damn what
Well,
you out here doing.
and I think at the end of the day, it's just like, just with any generation, I would like to better understand. And my problem is I don't really like the whole um head butting with the next generation or like the previous
Yeah,
generation.
because it sucks.
It does suck. And like you said, there's always like something to learn. And it just seems I don't like the fact that there's um this tradition almost of butting heads because at that point nobody learns anything. It's just like a pass or fail kind of thing where you're learning through trials. And thankfully, like I was the kind of person who could always go to my mom or always go to my aunts or always go to whatever and be like, hey, explain this to me because I do not understand, because I'm that kind of person. But
Yeah, I mean, I
like
just asked my mom. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, it was something silly.
No, what you ask your mom? Ooh, what's some?
I just asked her, how were people able to call a payphone back, because I didn't understand logistically how that worked.
Wait, what did she say?
Okay, so anyway, this is gonna sidetrack us a little bit. I was watching a movie the
It's
other
fine.
day, and this guy, he used the payphone to call this other guy, obviously, and he sat outside of this dude's apartment, and the payphone just started ringing. This was hours later, and I'm like, who the shit is calling a payphone? This isn't like a house phone. And so she explained to me that, before caller ID, there was such a thing as *69, and I forgot completely about
Yeah.
that. And then that also payphones had phone numbers. I didn't know that for some reason. And she was like, yeah, you could go to a payphone and it would just be written, somewhere on the payphone that this is this phone number to this payphone. So he knew to like go and call it because it was outside of his apartment.
Yeah, I see. I knew payphones had numbers, but I didn't. But it's always weird that somebody would be waiting, like someone would call a
We
payphone
we
back.
wait, yeah, and I told her, I said the only time I've ever really seen that is like in a movie, like, oh yeah, I'm waiting on a phone call, but then the payphone rings.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's like, yeah, you never, like, you could be sitting out there, like you said, for hours waiting on somebody to call you back.
Yeah, and he did. And I'm like, well, how does he know to like call this particular payphone? And how does this dude know that the phone call is going to be for him? But she explained it to me because, older and
Yeah.
wiser and around when payphones were a thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it's,
technically, you were around when payphones were a thing,
yeah,
but
I've used
they're
the
dying
payphone.
out.
I've used the
Yeah.
payphones to call my mom before,
Oh,
but I didn't know it was
payphones are
disgusting.
scary because they're dirty.
They're
Like I've
disgusting.
I've I've used payphones before, and you look at it and you're like, do I really? You don't put it up to your ear. You just kind of hold it there, like, hey, can you hear
Can you
me?
imagine like how many people have touched that thing and spit all over it and just
Oh
like
my gosh.
probably licked it just
See,
because?
that's how you catch COVID. Like forever
Well,
and
COVID
always.
started on a payphone.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. COVID started,
That
and now
allegedly.
allegedly. But
Yeah, we don't want this video flagged.
whenever something happens now, I'm like, okay, that's how you catch COVID. Like any kind of weird things, even if it happened like in 2000, I'm like, see, that's how you catch COVID.
Exactly. COVID was. But yeah, so it's all gonna be good. I say at the end of the day, go out and do a big brother, big sister program, but do it with Gen Zers, and then maybe they'll teach you something. And in your old lady wisdom, with your side part, you can teach them something, and then we'll merge the two, and we'll be a super generation, and everything will be peaches and cream. And
It's
then you
weird.
won't be upset about BuzzFeed articles anymore because no one actually reads those anymore.
No, they don't. It's just one of those random things I saw on the internet. And it's also weird too because middle parts were a very 90s thing. You
Oh, I
remember?
love the middle part with the
Yeah.
really fresh sew-in,
Yeah.
bone
Well,
straight.
I didn't have something, but yeah,
No.
and now it's like coming back. Like the 90s are coming back.
Yeah, because
So,
nothing is
nope. None is new. All right. Well, I guess I'm all right after this
Are you
conversation.
okay now? I
Oh,
just kind of want you to be okay. Not kind of. I do want you to be okay because I was like, whoa, this really affected her.
well, it didn't, like, reading it. I think I was more so like confused. Like, what do people do? Like it. I guess it was just like simple stuff. Like I said, like talking about pizza or
Yeah, I
coffee.
didn't understand the
Like
pizza thing. And we do talk about coffee a lot. I freaking love coffee sometimes.
freaking love coffee, but then again, that's not exclusively us. And
No, it's not, but you just have to kind of take it for what it is. It's just like picking out the funny things to like poke fun at, and then girl, like keep it moving. It's
yeah,
fine.
like
It's not a big deal.
the way they just lip sync to music that's already there and enjoy mumble rap and eat Tide Pods. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess I am a little bit more like when I first read that quote unquote article, I was just like, what? But now, I mean, I guess it has taken some time
We're
to
we're
like,
gonna call it a listicle because it's
I
just a
like
list
that
of
better.
like yeah, it's just a list of like tweets. Really, it's just screen grabs of
Like
tweets. So
tweets and TikToks.
and
So
TikToks, that's it.
yeah, but it's okay now. I'm excited today mostly because As you know, you may have looked outside and realized we have snow.
We do. Oh, I love it. I thought about you earlier. I said, see, this is what I wanted during Christmas time. And
Hmm.
and I was talking to someone. I was like, why do we always get this kind of weather? It's February. Why didn't we have this in December?
We
It
all,
always comes so late here.
yeah, like if guys were obviously in the South, but
Yeah.
South, Souf.
South.
So, we don't typically get snow, like especially like a good amount of snow till February or March, especially March. March is
It's
like the
yeah.
prime time
Yeah.
for southern snow, and I
And then
don't.
next week it'll be 75
Yeah,
degrees.
exactly. It'll be gone, and it'll be sunny, and we'll be all outside in like t-shirts and jeans. But it's such a weird phenomenon that I think only Southerners can appreciate.
Yeah, especially and then even to like narrow it down even more, like Memphians,
Yeah.
because yeah, we I think they're saying that we may get like 8 to 12 inches, but then when you look at people that actually live in places that get snow, they're like, oh yeah, we got 6 feet of snow. And I'm like, what? And you guys went outside. 8 to 12 inches, and my cousin posted like, oh, the grocery stores are like supermarket sweep. You Gen
Yeah.
Zers won't like that, but
Oh no, so Friday, and I didn't realize that it was going to snow so much today. So
hmm
Saturday, I went grocery shopping. There were so many people out, and I
yeah.
typically go grocery shopping during the week because I try to avoid crowds. But there were so many
hmm
people out Saturday, and I was like, oh, they might be here for Valentine's Day, getting all the Valentine's Day stuff. And some people were, but like the meat was gone. The For some
Yeah,
reason
there was
there was no meat. For some reason, there were no like tacos. I don't know why there's no taco
every
stuff.
day's gonna be Taco Tuesday, baby.
And it was just like everything was at scarcity. There was no like well, there were canned stuff, but it's not the canned stuff that you actually wanted. And I'm like,
Want it exactly. You didn't want that succotash in the can.
and I'm just like, what is going on? I guess people were gonna, blow up for Valentine's Day. No, they were watching the weather report and they saw that it was going to be snowing. So,
Yeah. You know how it goes here, Brene. Every few years, you know the drill. It's run out and get. You know who I actually saw at the grocery store?
ooh, tell me.
Jenny DePrizio.
What? Shout
Yeah,
out to
it took
Jenny DePrizio.
Yeah,
What?
it took me a second to realize who she was, because I didn't see the news truck there, but then I saw the mic flag. So she was
uh,
like, "Hey, did you were you guys going in there to get groceries for the winter weather?" And I'm like, "We don't have anything." I told her, so we tried, So I mean, I'm not going to be on the news because she didn't even like pick up the camera. So
Did she recognize you at all?
no, I mean, we didn't really do much talking when I worked there. So
Darn. Oh, I should
yeah,
have
other
gone.
than yeah, but it was pretty cool to see her though, and I'm like, yeah, it's starting up. I said they're probably thinking that this is going to be something if they have the news team out trying
Yeah.
to talk to people about milk and eggs. So
Yeah. And why
those are
milk, eggs, and bread?
and
Why?
bread, yeah.
Those things
Oh
don't last
well,
this long.
they don't, but I mean, when you think about bread, you can make a peanut butter sandwich.
And you can freeze it, but like you can't I guess you could freeze milk, but at the same time, like milk goes bad and eggs go bad. Like
But
maybe
it's
this is
stuff that you can have throughout the week, I guess. No
yeah.
one here is thinking that we're going to be in the house for like the next 4 months because of snow. But I don't know why that's the first thing they grab. That and like the noodles, the instant
Yeah.
noodles,
See,
which I don't
instant
even,
noodles I understand a bit more than
yeah.
like instant noodles, like water, but not like eggs. Like
Yeah,
eggs go bad in a week.
we went grocery shopping way before any of this was even becoming a thing, so it really kind of blew my mind that people waited until today
Yeah.
to go to the grocery store, because I'm like, girl, there's nothing there. We got out yesterday and I saw the same thing you saw. There was no meat, but thankfully we had already gone earlier in the week, so we had everything that we needed.
Ugh.
There was no meat in there. What else was missing? It was like a lot of strange things, like you said, there were just like empty spots on shelves.
Yeah. Like there were no diced tomatoes. That was weird. There was no like tomatoes because I
People
was
are probably making like beef stew and stuff.
I guess
So
that does make sense. All right.
it's
Well,
But yeah, I love it. It's cute. I'm sitting here actually looking at the snow now,
Yeah.
and it's been snowing literally all day. And I think tomorrow is going to be an all day thing. Then we get a reprieve on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday we get even more winter weather.
If you've been listening, that was Kristen with your weekend weather report.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
always wanted to be a meteorologist. I didn't, but that felt
I
fun
figured.
for a minute.
Well, awesome. Guys, let us know what you think about this podcast. Let us know if you hate Gen Zers or if you're like Kristen and sympathize with them. It's okay. You can let us know. Be honest. Let
Please
us
let
know.
me know. Because if you have any aggression like Brene had, I want to talk to you. Just like
I,
kind of, bring the temperature down, let
I just
everyone,
got beef like they got beef.
woo, woo, woo. Everything's going to be A-okay.
Woosah.
Yeah, it's
Like
going to be
in
fine, guys.
Bad Boys. Woosah.
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
It's
Let
gonna
me
be
and
okay.
Brene know because Brene is probably going to need her anger buddy
Yeah.
to
Oh,
like,
I've been drinking whiskey so the entire
oh,
time. I had to
no
bust out the
wonder.
hard liquor today.
I
So
drank a little whiskey yesterday. Can you believe it?
what?
I mean,
No,
I didn't drink
friend.
it straight like that, but I did. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Baby
here's
steps.
baby steps for you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and also let us know since was Valentine's Day. Let us know if you did anything for Valentine's Day, and if so, what was it? And if you get snow, let us know how much you get snow. How much? Let us know the amount. Whatever words. Look.
Yep.
I'm
You
tired.
know them.
Yeah.
But do they know you?
Not today. Um, but yeah, let us know because we're probably blowing it way out of proportion because we got like 2 inches of snow today, and you guys probably get like 16 inches of snow. So
Exactly.
so let us know how you deal. And Kristen, as always, I don't know about today, but it's been all right today. You were
Today was all right because
today,
we weren't in agreement.
yeah, today was all
It's
right.
okay because everything I said with love.
I don't know about that, but
It's all right, friend.
but I
We're
appreciate you.
still friends. Wow.
Okay, we're still friends. I don't know, because you did say that you might like not be friends with me because of aliens or something. I don't know. It was one podcast you were like, I don't know if I'm gonna be friends with you anymore. So it's my turn.
Oh, okay. Whatever you have to do to cope, I'm fine with that. I'll still be here should you need me.
So
All
guys,
right, guys, that's going to wrap up the podcast.
yes,
It has been a pleasure.
subscribe, talk to us in the comments. Kristen may or may not be on this podcast next week, so we'll find out.
Bye.
Bye.